Hello, my friends. This is the Art of Prepping. Hope everyone's doing well today. This is the Kobalt 40-volt electric chainsaw. I got this a few weeks before Christmas. It was like an early Christmas gift, a really nice gift. And I have been using this, testing this before I said anything about it. I wanted to kind of really put it through its paces. And so I cut small trees, medium-sized trees, and just a couple larger trees just to see how it would perform. And so I do have some data points now to report, and I feel a lot more comfortable to talk about this because I have some use behind it. I cut about 20 trees and processed those trees, and behind this chainsaw there's a mountain of firewood. I mean, just a mountain. And I've cut all different types of trees. Oak trees, red cedar trees, and many more, just to get a feel. And I did practice sharpening the blade. After about 12 trees, it started to dull. And so I have a file set that I was able to use. I mean, the file set wasn't made to sharpen specifically chainsaw blades, but it worked just fine. And since then, though, I have managed to acquire extra chains. And I would also recommend, if you can find them, to get extra batteries for this. They're harder to find, and when you do find them, they're really expensive. But I just wanted to report, some information. So this is a very lightweight chainsaw. And I'm not saying you need to get this one, but this one so far has been very good, this Kobalt. And this Kobalt, let's just move this for a second here and see if we can get the model number. It's KCS 4040-06, and I'll bring you in a little closer here. If you need more time, you can always just pause that screen there. Okay, so while I have it moving around here, I'll just show you how to release the battery. You just push this in and it pops up. It has a pretty strong spring, actually. This is the battery. It's a 40 volt at 4 amps. And so basically what you do is you multiply volts by amperage to get the wattage. So this is a 160 watt hour battery. It's a pretty good sized battery. It's pretty impressive. I'm no expert on electric chainsaws, but I'd say this is pretty good. So there you go. And overall though, I really like this. Once again, it's just so light, and it does have a built-in wrench here on the bottom to adjust the chain, and has a really good grip, for both hands. Here is the trigger, and here's the safety. Here is the Lubricant Reserve right here, and it does last a long time. I get about 3.5 to 4 full charges off the battery. Like I can run the battery to empty and recharge it, and do that 4 times on average for reserve. Now, this is what I've noticed on runtime. I get about 45 minutes of runtime on a battery if I'm cutting trees that are between 6 to 8 inches. So smaller trees for sure. But I get about 30 minutes of runtime when I'm at a size of trunk of tree that's around 12 to 15 inches. So just a heads up. So the more material that this thing has to go through, it really does start to burn through the battery. But overall though, I mean, there are limitations though with anything, of course. And so it does really well for what it is. I was quite surprised. And there's a little more power that I thought that wouldn't be there, but it is. There's actually a bit more power here than expected. So it does have a nice shield here. Let me get a better perspective. Nice shield from debris. And at certain angles, you still get hit with quite a bit of like sawdust, so to speak. But that's just really skill level. And I'm still learning how to be the best with this in terms of technique. But it does have this nice rubber overmold here for the grip. I do like that quite a bit. Of course, you know, it goes without saying that you should wear protective gloves, and I do. I wear safety glasses. You should certainly do that. And I wear a heavyweight, like overshirt. And in fact, I wear 3 layers typically when I use this, just as a safety precaution. And the individual that gave me this also gave me some protective chaps. I don't know what they're really called, but they're for chainsaw use, obviously, and they're just made of material. So if the blade accidentally, you know, comes towards your leg and hits your leg, the chaps will pretty much stop. This is how I understand it to be. The fibers in the chaps will stop the blade and keep it from actually cutting into your skin or into your clothes and stuff. So that's really cool. I highly recommend chainsaw chaps. Now, on a warm day, they can get quite warm itself. I mean, I got sweating pretty bad, you know, a few days ago when it got really warm. But what you do is you just take breaks and you just take them off like once an hour. This is what I did. About once an hour, I took them off and let them air dry for 20, 30 minutes, and then they're good to go. The last thing I want to say about safety is that I wore safety boots, you know, the boots with the safety toes. Now, it's better if you had like steel toe boots. Mine are just made of composite. I have composite safety boots for the composite toes, but they're still really good though. But my boots are actually made of this really heavy leather, and that would probably give some protection as well, I would imagine. But definitely wear protective footwear. So I just wanted to do this real brief overview just to give you some data points and just some personal experience with this. And overall, I really like this. It's just, wow, really nice piece of kit that can be interfaced with a solar system. So if the grid goes down, you can't get a hold of gasoline, and all you have is your solar system, right? You can charge this off of your solar system. You can plug in your charging dock into your solar system, into your inverter, drop your battery into it, and charge it, and you have a chainsaw ready to go. But once again, I would keep a good stash of lubricant on standby and a few extra chains, and definitely get yourself a good little file so that you can sharpen it and really extend the life of these chains, right? So that's all I wanted to say. I hope this was somewhat helpful or at least interesting. It's always good to have options. And I tell you what, using a handsaw to cut wood or an axe, it'll wear you out. It'll wear you out in a heartbeat. And the same amount of energy I noticed to cut a tree down physically with an axe and to cut each piece up with a handsaw, I literally could cut 5 to 6 trees with this. Literally 5 to 6 trees and like I said, you know, I just have this mountain of firewood behind here, and I just, the proof is in the pudding. I'm so much more efficient with a chainsaw. And once you get into this is almost like an entryway drug for me at least, because I've been really like wondering how much better would it be to have a gas-powered chainsaw. As much as I like this, there are some bigger trees on the property that it's a lot more difficult and efficiently to cut up with this. So I'm just thinking maybe down the road, it would be really fun to get a gas-powered chainsaw. So if you're really not into chainsaws like me, and this is kind of new for you, this is all very interesting stuff. Like, to me, this is a bit addictive. I mean, I just, for days and days now, well, for weeks and weeks, really. I've been testing this and just using it constantly, and it's just really fun and enjoyable. And you can get so much done. You can be so productive with this. So anyways, hope you guys are good. Happy New Year, and I'll catch you later.